can't believe it.
Oh my gosh, he has teeth or something in there.
All right, I want to welcome you to this episode of BTR Outdoors. And on this episode, I'm going to show you how I built my transducer mount, arm, and another camera mount for the front of my kayak. I'll show you how I can move around to get out of the way. Handy little handle to pull it out of the water. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I did it. Okay, I'll begin with how I made the transducer mount. I took just a regular tee, and then I had some 3/4 inch, this is a 3/4 inch tee. I took some 3/4 inch pipe, probably about 1.5 inches, glued it into the tee and into this piece that's 3/4 inch, and it has threads on one end. And that's how I'm going to connect my arm. But I glued all that together. So this is, everything's permanent right here. Then I took 2 end caps and about 1.5 inch, 3/4 inch pipe. I glued into them and drilled a hole. And that's how I'm going to mount the transducer mount to the kayak track. And I glued that into place also. I also took a dremmer tool and had a little sandpaper bit and went around the edges. Kind of sand them down just to make the diameter a little bit smaller than this T, 3/4 inch T. And the reason for that is, you know, when you stick PVC pipe into another piece, sometimes you don't even need glue and that thing is going to stick and be hard to turn, and I need this to turn, and I'll show you why. Okay, what I'm going to do is take these 2 toilet bowl bolts, slide there in the track, and then I'm going to attach the end pieces, and then my tee. It's going to look just like that. Take my little fancy wing nuts, has a hole all the way through, and that's how I'm going to attach it to the kayak track. Okay, and that's what she looks like. And you see, remember I told you I sanded it down? It frees it up to turn pretty easy. Has a little bit of restriction, but not much, but that's perfect for what I need it to do. And this secures it on really well. All right, I'm going to show you how I made the transducer arm. Okay, for the arm of the transducer, I got this 12-inch piece, 3/4 inch PVC. I did take a heat gun, and at probably about the last 2.5 inches, I did heat it up and kind of flatten it out just a little bit. And that just, I did that just to fit into the transducer, and I'll show you that in a second. I did take a hacksaw blade and cut out a notch, and also drilled a hole in it. So that's the makeup of my arm. I'll show you the transducer I have for the Garmin Striker 4. And that's how it lays in there. And this is why I did the notch. So if you can see, the wire comes up, that notch fits right around the wire. Secures it in there. And then you can put a nut and a locking bolt through there, and I'm going to have my transducer, and it's going to basically run just like this. So I'll show you, let me put the nut and bolt in there, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, there's my transducer hooked up to the arm. I got it perfectly straight, and as you can see, the wire comes out a little notch, that way it's not kinked, and I'll probably zip tie it to this pipe right here to keep it out of the way, and that's how it's going to go through the water. You can see the bolt and the locking nut. I know that bolt is a little large, but that's just what I had. I can always get a shorter one, and that locking nut is going to keep it from ever backing off. So that's how it's going to run through the water. And now I'm going to show you how I'm going to attach it to the mount. Okay, the first piece I'm going to put on is another T, but this one has threads in it. And it's going to attach to this threaded part. Now the trick here is you don't want it too tight, because you want to be able, want to be able to turn my transducer up to get it out of the water. So either way, but I want it to have enough tension on it to keep it that way. So it's going to be really crucial if I get this thing set just perfect. The next thing I want to do is attach the arm of the transducer. And what I'm going to do is when I have that secured perfectly way I want it, I'm going to glue that in. Okay, so that's going to be the arm. Let me show you how that looks alongside the kayak. Okay, that's what it looks like in the down position. You can see my transducer is level. It's below the kayak. That's why this piece is 12 inches. Because when I measured from here to 12 inches down, that's below my kayak. That way my kayak doesn't interfere with the sonar. So another reason why I like the threaded part here is because you can always take this off, because this is going to be glued on. But if you hit a rock or something while you're paddling, it's just going to move it right out of the way. And then when you want to take it out of the water, you just turn it up and it's out of the water. So if you're loading or unloading. Now, you're probably asking, why didn't you just use an elbow? Why is there a hole on top? And I'm going to show you that right now. All right, I got to wear my glasses to make sure that I'm in focus. So, the top of this, what I'm going to do is have another piece of 12-inch, 3/4 inch pipe. I have another 3/4 inch connector that I'll connect to this. And then I have a cap that I'm going to install on top of that, and I'm going to install a camera mount with another ball joint, so I have a camera. So I'm going to take this and attach it to the transducer arm. And I'll have a camera mount aiming right at the seat. I got a camera behind me, and I'll probably have a chest camera, so you're going to get a lot of different views when I'm fishing. Hopefully, if I can figure this out. Another reason why I wanted this here is I can use it as a lever to remove the transducer out of the water. Like I said, my seat is right here. I can just reach over here, lower it, or raise it up. And with the swivel that I have on there, so it takes it all the way out of the water, free from the side. So especially for unloading or loading your kayak, this will be out of the way. And then when you want it, put it over here, lower it down in the water, and start fishing. So I got my camera mount and the transducer mount all in one. Kind of like killing two birds with one stone. But there she is, just something real simple. And I'll show you the camera attached. Then I'm probably gonna paint it the greenish color to match the kayak. So I'll show you the camera mount. All right, there's the camera mount, the transducer mount, and the transducer arm. I haven't got the wires ran yet, but I want to get a coat of paint on it right quick, kind of match the kayak. But there you go, multifunctional. All right, I want to thank you for watching this episode of BTR Outdoors, and I just want to thank you for watching. I really enjoyed this project. I love the way it turned out, how easy it is to move around, lower into the water. There's so many directions you can move it. It stays put. And I'm really going to get a chance to try it out this weekend, hopefully. I have some days off and I'm gonna plan on going fishing. The weather looks okay, so I will come back and let you know how everything, all these hacks and stuff has worked out. But, and oh, one more thing. I wanted to say that I looked to several YouTubers trying to find an idea for this transducer mount and arm. And I can't remember, there was a couple of people that I kind of got ideas from how to make this. And then I wanted to add the camera mount to that. So that was kind of my own take on that because I wanted something facing me. But I just love this design. It was very simple. So like I said, you know, it doesn't take a lot of money to build some of these hacks, and that way you can have stuff on your kayak. The main goal is just to get out there and go fishing. So until the next episode, I'll catch you later. Y'all have a good one.